Amherst as the Cardinals look to keep this perfect run going. It's our pleasure, though, to welcome in a Wesleyan great, Pete Alberding. Pete, first and foremost, pretty cool to see all the alums in attendance today. Not just some of your fellow Cardinals, from your time, but also a lot of the guys from the 21-22 team are here, and really everyone is just so excited about what's going on with this basketball team.
Well, I'll tell you go undefeated for the season and got the number one seed in the tourney. You're going to get a lot of people showing up, but there's a tremendous culture at Wesleyan basketball, and some of my best friends going back for decades. And my son played here and graduated in 20, and all his pals are back. So, what an exciting atmosphere to see the gym packed.
I mean, it really is. It's just a completely different experience when the students are here and the gym is packed. Because what you typically see, it's so tough for these guys. They only get this year. They played one conference weekend where there were students. Yeah. Because of the way the semester goes. So it's a great reward for a team that's had such a great season to get days like today, and hopefully a few more if they're lucky. Pete, I know that a lot is talked about when it comes to records, and obviously you had a very successful time here. But the thing that stands out to me when I look at this number, 529 points, it's really in an era, the early infancy of the three-point shot. And I know, having talked to some of your contemporaries, some of which who are here today, there wasn't always a green light from beyond the arc in the previous administration, if we should so say. Coach Kenny was not a big fan of the three-point shot, so kind of talk us through, what it was like playing for a venerable old coach like Coach Kenny, and how you were able to put such a prolific offensive season together.
Well, it's funny. Herb was, God rest his soul. We lost Herb a couple of years ago. He was an old school coach. I wouldn't say, Bobby Knight exactly, but they were cut from similar cloth. And he was a hard-nosed guy, and you had to learn how to deal with that sort of psychologically. And credit to him, the three-point shot came into existence in my sophomore year at Wesleyan, and helped my career because I was a big guy who could shoot it and didn't spend a lot of time in the paint, so that helped my cause. Our junior year, Brock and Ellis, who just got honored for most assists in a season, that team, my junior year, holds the record for most points per average. Like Herb, wow. He let us run and shoot it, and He changed. I mean, you don't coach for as long as Herb coached and not learn how to evolve. And the shot clock came into existence, obviously, the three-point line. Three-point line was a little closer in my era, so that helped.
Yeah, I remember, talking with Chris Stepak a few weeks ago, and he was saying that basically when it first came in, it was a nope, no one is allowed to shoot the three, and then he kind of sort of adapted along the way.
If I may say, take a little bit of credit, my sophomore year, Stipo and I were battling out for time, and I wasn't getting that much, and so I kind of would play a little annoyed at practice and would launch a lot of threes on the green team kind of thing, and at least showed Herb that it was possible to make this shot.
And that three is worth more than two.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, it seems that's where the game has gone. And certainly when you watch any basketball now, in particular at the highest level. How proud are you to see what Coach Riley has done with this program and how consistent they've been, and won the NESCAC in 21-22. You see the banners, a lot of NCAA tournament appearances. This team obviously has taken it to a different level. It's got to be pretty proud as not just a Wesleyan alum, but a guy who has so many family connections. Both.
Yeah, right.
You mentioned your son Jack, and then obviously nieces that have come here and very proud Cardinals, so it's got to make you feel pretty happy to be associated with.
Coach Riley and I played against each other way back in the olden days when he was at Trinity. He was a hell of a point guard. Yeah. And players need to work on their game and evolve, and coaches need to work on their game and evolve, and I say that in a positive way. Joe has done a remarkable job. This team epitomizes team play. I don't know, a couple games ago I was watching, and you mentioned something like there were 17 baskets in the first half, 14 of which had assists.
Right.
I mean, they move the ball so well. Really. I love their offensive scheme, and they play defense. I mean, defense wins, and it's impressive to watch. And you got 20 guys on a team to maintain the culture when you got that many players. Obviously, there's a lot of guys not getting minutes.
Right.
To have that level of cohesion is all about leadership. So kudos to Joe and what he's done, and And boy, they have an opportunity to do something really special.
Really special. And, you talk about that, the 20 guys, and it's true. On senior day, typically, there's the token seniors that maybe get to start and they play a minute. There were 3 seniors that started on senior day that have seen very little time, and they scored the first 13 points of the game. If that doesn't tell you about the camaraderie and the depth of this team, you think about it, a lot of these guys were here last year. They didn't make the tournament, right? So really, an impressive performance.
Well, and you're going to play sort of 8 guys, maybe 9 guys, and the difference between 9 and 10 is so slim, and that's playing sports though. That's
the life of a college player.
Absolutely.
You get an opportunity. Sometimes you don't. If you do, you take the most. If not, you just have to be there. And I think that speaks again to the culture that he's built here. That a lot of these guys who are seniors that have been here for 4 years, that have seen their playing time diminish or maybe never really get any playing time, are still so committed and so bought in.
Well, and they'll be coming back in 20 years, and
That's
we
right.
are a little more than 20 years. One thing I would like to say is there's a couple guys who are not here today who I, at a minimum, would like to mention, who sadly passed away in the last year and a half, and that's Robert James, who's a year ahead of me, 1,000-point scorer, has got his name on the wall. Sadly passed away, and Bill Queen, who's a local Connecticut guy who passed away about a year and a half ago. And those guys were both very special to me and close to me, and they'd be here today. And I just want to make sure they get mentioned.
Well, I know that you have a lot of support here today, and you're going through your own challenges and your own battle, but it's got to feel pretty good to know that you have this gigantic community behind you.
No, it's my health challenge is one of the things that made me realize and appreciate more than I ever have is the importance of friends and community and family. And here we go. I've got siblings here, some of my best friends in the world, and we got a great atmosphere, and 20 more minutes of basketball to be hosted next week. Amherst played a pretty good half, I thought.
No, it's going to be a 40-minute game.
Yeah.
I think so, too. They didn't make a lot of shots, but they're a team that's playing for their season today, so I think it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and it's fine margins, but the Cardinals have figured out ways to get it done throughout the year. They've got 20 more minutes to try to have another great weekend here next weekend.
I'll tell you what amazes me is there was no tightness. You're undefeated. I mean, the pressure builds every week,
right? There were no timeouts. It was the fastest half I've seen.
And I don't know. I wasn't counting, but I don't remember many turnovers.
It's just a quality basketball game. Both teams playing really hard, and it should be a really good second half. Good thing you got going for you is, Coach Riley has built such balanced teams and such balanced culture. I don't think anyone's going to touch that scoring record for a while. So you're in pretty good hands there. There are 90 gunners out here. There's any game, there's 8 or 9 guys that could be the leading scorers.
Yeah, that's true. It was. I mean, I'm proud of the record, and I look forward to whoever breaks it. I do remember when I broke the record, I got a letter from a old family friend who was in the gym when John Worley, who was the prior record holder, who set it in like 1967 or something.
Yeah.
So it's a record that's been around. There's only been 2 people in the last 60 years or something. It's incredible.
Yeah, class of 1966, John Worley, 25.7 points a game.
Yeah.
Pretty good. We're
just needed a couple more games.
Just need some threes is all he needed.
Yeah, that too.
He didn't have. Look, Pete, it's been great to catch up with you. We got to get ready for the second half.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck to you and your family, and best of luck, obviously, to the Cardinals.
Thanks very much.
Great. Thank you so much.
Look forward to more wins here.
All right.
Alrighty.
We'll be back with the second half right after this. Thanks for Pete for joining us. Cardinals lead by 9 at halftime. Back with the final 20 minutes right after this.